everybody, and welcome back to the United Stand. It is Derby Day and I am at the Etihad. The Etihad. No, I will be respectful because I am on the ground. And also, I've had a couple of people that I hear have come up to me and said, you're taking a bit of a risk in my United top. But I thought, you know what, I've got to have the confidence to get it out. I've got to wear the winning team's top on Derby Day, and it's my favourite one of this season. Again, thank you to Adidas for sending that out to us. It is an absolute beauty. I am wearing it on enemy grounds currently, but we had to go down the road to the Etihad to film the away road trip. Manchester United face Manchester City, and can they do it 2 times in a row under Ruben Amorim? I've got a feeling, guys, that we are going to. I've said this already. I said it when I saw Luke here as well. It's going to be, I think, a very, very close game, but I actually have a feeling that Man United are going to come out on top. I just have a feeling inside me that Brian Mbeumo is going to score the winning goal. I might be completely wrong, but I just have that feeling that this game is made for him. That little intelligent run through the line to the defenders, a pass finding him, I can just see it happening, a technical finish, the way that he is, the way that he's so good with the ball at his feet, I can see it. So I'm hoping that my vision will come true. But get in the comments how you guys are feeling. Are you feeling nervous? I think you're always nervous going into this day as a Manchester United fan. City fans will be nervous as well. I think it's the first time in quite a while, actually, that as a United fan, I feel quite even going into this game. Previously in the past, even though we've had success in the derbies, I've come into it and I thought to myself, you know what? When you look at Manchester United, when you look at Manchester City, I'm just going to prepare myself for 90 minutes of being dominated with the ball, holding yourself together, keeping compact, keeping tight, and hoping that you can hit them on the break and get something. And often that has worked. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was an absolute master at it. That has worked for us in the past. It's also led to some really dull days, some dull times. I remember that one at Old Trafford, I think. It was one of Ole's last ones, and it was, I think Eric Bailly started. We went with a back 5, and it was just a very, very, very dull game. But there's been some dull derbies, but there's been some fantastic derbies. Ruben Amorim delivered us an absolute cracker at the Etihad last season, and he said in his press conference that he actually believes that Manchester United are a stronger team this time. He's going to say that. He wants to get his players up for it. Few things I am gutted about. First thing is that Cunha's out. Second thing, that Mount's out. Also, Dalot being out is a blow as well. And the fact that Ruben Amorim has already stated that Seny Lammens is not going to play. Bayindir is a risk for me. It's a big risk. I said it before and I'll say it again. I hope, with everything in me, he has a man of the match performance. He's absolutely unbelievable. Actually, not man of the match, because that means our goals getting peppered a little bit. Hope he has a very good performance, does everything he needs to do, and we come out of there saying, you know what, Bayindir really stepped up as number 1. But I've just seen too many mistakes off corners, off set pieces. Pep Guardiola will be looking to bully us, especially now Ruben Amorim's already said that Bayindir is going to start. Like, you're going to be able to work on that and look at how you can dominate him off corners. And also as well, just little things he does makes me nervous. I do think he's better than Onana, so that's a start. But you are going into it with a risk playing Bayindir in goal. However, I think his distribution's been good since the start of the season. Hopefully he can keep that up. But like I said, Cunha not being there, he gives the aggression, the mentality that you want from your players going into a derby. He's going to be a massive miss. And I think a big reason why Manchester United are creating more chances, looking better, despite that Grimsby result, which has skewed a lot of people's minds, is because Mason Mount's been in the team. Intelligent footballer that does all the basics, that can go under the radar, but just keeps things ticking, keeps possession going, really intelligent, great presser, wins the ball back well. He's going to be a miss as well. So we do go into it a little bit depleted. City are a bit depleted as well. They don't have Aït-Nouri, they don't have Cherki, they've got a couple injuries. However, they do have strong team and they do have players that can hurt you. They don't have Marmoush, which again as well is one for them that is going to be a miss, but they do still have strong players. I mean, if you just look at what Erling Haaland did in the international break, I mean, how many goals and assists did he get? It was just, my foot mob notifications were going bang, 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 bang. He was at it. I was hoping he was getting it all out of his system before we come here, because he's done some damage against us in the past. Foden, will he get in? He's also done some damage against us in the past. However, what I will say is I do trust this defence. I trust this defence. We've had some mistakes, but I think the back 3 are working together pretty well. And I don't think City have got off to the best start. I've watched City's games the first 3 games of the season, and against Wolves, I was like, you know what, they look really good. Reinders really stood out to me. Reinders is going to be one that you've got to watch because he's such a good player, and it won't surprise me if they do get something against us, it's because of that man. He's really good. I liked him before he even went to City, and when I watched him for the Netherlands, I thought, wow, there is a player in there. Really, really good player. So he's going to be one to watch. But the Wolves game, I thought it really kind of amplified how poor Wolves started off. I think Wolves didn't really put the best performance that they possibly could together and put that in. I also thought the way that they played suited the way that Man City it kind of started that game and the tactics that they were going to use and love to go to. So I do think the Wolves game kind of put everyone like, oh, City might really dominate the league this year. They're going to be the biggest competitors to Liverpool. And I still think they could be. I still think they've got the players that can be. But the Tottenham game and the Brighton game, for me, you could really see some weaknesses in Manchester City. And even against Wolves, like they had the fair few chances. You can get at them defensively. You really can, especially in the last half an hour of a game. I think Pep will pick a really strong lineup for this game, and he'll probably get the nail on the head. Like, it's just typical. But I do think in his opening 3 games of the season, his lineup isn't the most balanced as it could have been. And I think it's been crying out for a little bit more stability in there and a little bit more balance in the teams. So let's see what he goes with. But you can also look at it from the angle that Wolves, they did really well against them. Spurs, no matter who's the manager, usually give them a really tough game. And then Brighton have also done damage against them in the past. And Brighton are a good side with a good manager. And it's just, you know, the way the cookie crumbles in the opening 3 fixtures. But from watching Manchester City, I do think Wolves played into the hands for City's tactics. I think Tottenham put a good performance on against City, and I think Brighton deserved to win. So I think it will be an interesting one. I think both teams go into the game with something to prove. Both teams will have headlines written about them after the game if they do lose it or win it. With Manchester City, this is their worst start to the season since 2004. So Pep Guardiola, he's not under scrutiny because he's one of the best managers that we've ever seen, and you know everything he's won at City and what he's done. It'll take mass amounts of losses and mass amounts of poor performances to start thinking about Pep Guardiola and his future. But Ruben Amorim, on the other hand, his Premier League record is really, really poor and is in desperate need of a win to kind of kickstart this campaign. The Grimsby performance and result is really stuck in everyone's minds, despite the fact, in my opinion, against Arsenal, we were miles the better team. I actually thought we played better against Arsenal than what Liverpool did against Arsenal, even though Liverpool won. Szoboszlai obviously scored that absolutely world-class free kick. A really good player, Szoboszlai. And Arsenal probably had kicked on a bit and got better since the opening day of the season. But I thought we were a better team against Arsenal. I thought we deserved to win. But if it wasn't for Bayindir's mistake, I think we go on to at least draw that game, if not win it. Fulham, if Bruno sticks his penalty, I think we go on to win the game. And obviously Burnley, we won the game. So United overall, actually watching them in the opening 3 Premier League games, I do agree with Ruben Amorim that we are a better side. Our attacking stats are great, you know, most chances created, most touches in the opposition box, really high XG, but we've just got to get our shooting boots on and deliver it. Also, you're going to have some players stepping into that starting 11 that maybe haven't started yet in the Premier League, replacing Cunha, replacing Mount, who have been 2 of our best players since the season kicked off. So it's going to be an interesting one to see who Ruben Amorim picks. Also, I think it's the first time going into a derby where, of course, you're always going to be nervous. And one thing that always sticks in my mind is that after international breaks, United usually come back really slow, really sluggish, and we usually come back with either a loss or a draw, usually a loss. I remember that Brentford away one where it was just after the international break, and I think it was a draw. Mason Mount scored, but then they equalised. There's been other results that we've come back off the international break and we've just looked sluggish. Hopefully under Ruben Amorim this will change, and if the players can't get up for a derby, then what can you get up for? Everyone will be absolutely 1,000,000% up for this game. So yeah, coming into it quite even. I still think Manchester City have the upper hand coming into this game. I still think Manchester City, because it is at the Etihad and because of what they've done in previous years and the players that they have, I do think they are favourites, but I do expect United to create chances. I do expect us to have a bit of possession. I do expect us to cause Manchester City problems. And I think that's the different mindset I'm going into this game. Previously, it's been like, sit in, hope you get a chance and get a goal. and you can kind of hold on. This time, I expect us to go toe-to-toe with City. I expect us to have a proper good performance, really put the work in, and I expect both teams to have an even shot at winning this game. That is why I'm going with a 2-1 United win, and Mbumo to score the winner, Bruno to score the first. That's what I'm going with. Or, do you know what I'd love? I'd love a Sesko goal. Will Sesko start? That's a big question. So, who is Ruben Amorim going to go with for his starting 11? This is what my starting 11 would be. This is my predicted lineup. I am going with Bayindir in goal, because he said it. I'm going with Ahmad, right wing back. He probably will go with Mazraoui, though. Mazraoui's going to play. Whether that's in place of Luke Shaw or Yoro, I won't be Luke Shaw, I don't think. Whether that's in place of Yoro or Ahmad, let's see. But I'm going to go with Ahmad. I want to be positive. I think Ahmad is actually really good there, despite what people say. So I'm going to go Ahmad right wing back. I'm going to go Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw as my centre backs. I'm going to go Mazraoui left wing back. That's what I think Ruben Amorim would do, but he also might go Dorgu left wing back, go Mazraoui right wing back to make it a little bit more, I don't know, more defensive in that case, and kind of protect the back against Man City and their attacking threats. However, do you know, if it was me, I'd be playing Sesko up top and I'd be playing Ahmad left wing back and Mazraoui right wing back, having a right foot on the right, getting crosses in, Ahmad getting crosses in from the left and feeding the striker. But I'm going to go with Ahmad right wing back and Mazraoui left, because I think that's more along the lines of what Ruben Amorim might do. My midfield is going to be Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro, although I think Ruben Amorim for this game might go with Ugarte because of his tenacity. Let's see. My 2 10s, I'm putting Bruno Fernandes back in the 10 because Cunha and Mount are injured. I think Bruno has to go in the 10 in this game. I don't think you can go to the Etihad with Bruno starting in the midfield too. I think it's just a little bit too risky. But Bruno Fernandes in the 10, wow, we know what he can do. So I'm putting Bruno Fernandes in the 10 with Bryan Mbeumo, and then I'm putting Sesko up front. But do you know what also wouldn't surprise me? I'm sorry, I'm sitting on the fence massively here. What also wouldn't surprise me is if Sesko doesn't even start still, and he goes with Mazraoui and Dorgu as the wing backs, right? And then he goes with Bruno as a false 9 with Mbeumo and Ahmad behind him. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. It's really hard to call. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Smash a like on the video if you've not already. And I think there's only one last thing to say. Come on, United!